146. Can I get you to move in the vicinity of the horn for this really quick, please? Because you have a lot of stuff with the horn in this section.
Field trip.
Yeah. You'll grab this first flute part and play the flute part out from measure 162 to the end, just because we're missing the flute today. And that'll cover that flute part. It's not too terribly high, so that will cover that, and that'll be okay. All right, so we're starting at measure 146. So before we're going to just play this section through all the way through really quick. The biggest thing that I want to cover before we play it the first time is that we have a transitional section starting off. Because we're coming out of this lyrical section. So we're starting with the bridge between the lyrical going into a more march style. So make sure we're starting at the key change that goes back into concert B flat. That it's smoothly connected, but still powerful. And then at measure 160, we see that we go back into a more march style. So let's make sure that we have a good differentiation of styles, and that would make a big difference when we get there. Are there any questions before we start? Okay. Percussion, you basically have everything covered that I need except suspended cymbal, but that's okay for today. Bells, make sure you bring your chart out, especially here at the beginning. It's marked so forte. Just make sure that that is kind of prominent, because you have straight quarter notes. That's going to be a good rhythmic anchor for the band. So let's make sure that we hear that. All right, and we're going to take it just a little bit under tempo. Now I'll give you 4 for nothing. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Especially between the horn and trumpet and the trombones at the end. We have this melodic motif that we've heard throughout the whole piece, and you're starting 2 beats, and then 2 beats later, the trombones come in with the same thing. So I wanted to kind of make sure we get that lined up. So let's go back to measure 146. Not bad at all. Thank you, Ovo, that was great. Going back to 146, what I want to focus on is where the melody is going. So what happens here, we start out with the melody in the horn and alto sax. So that's why I put you guys together so you can help each other out. So we have the pickup into the melody for you guys. And then at the end, you have the whole note. And then on beat 4 of your whole note, you have the trumpet pulling the melody after that. And then you have another whole note, and then you have the woodwinds picking up on the 4th beat of that whole note going into their little melodic section. So what I want to do is I want to just take that melody out, and let's just focus on that real quick. So this time we're going to do the same thing, except I only want to hear where the melody is. So what that's going to do, that's going to give us a chance to hear where it is, so we don't cover that up. So let's do this section again, and we're going to start, we're going to stop once we get to 164, where the trill stuff comes back in like we heard at the beginning of the piece. Let's do that same thing again. Can we take it just a little bit faster now that we've...
Please.
Okay. All right. All right. Same thing, 4 for nothing. If you think you have the melody, play this time. So we want to see which section is going to, who's the most important part of the piece at this point. All right, here we go. Same thing, 4 for nothing. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So now do we have a better sense of where that melody is going? So we know how that fits together. And make sure that we dovetail those into each other. So don't cut your note off until they start. So it's a seamless transition from one section to the next. All right, that was a lot better.
76 to the end.
Now, let's look at this thing with the trumpet horn versus the trombones back there. All right. So that's starting... at measure 169. Trumpets, horn, and trombone, if you'll look with me. If you look at measure 169, trumpets, you're coming in on beat 3. And then you're holding out this whole note. And then in the very next measure, you have the trombones coming in on the same thing, on beat 3. Along with third trumpet, which is not here today. So let's just start at 169. We won't take it too terribly fast, but I want to make sure that this is lining up properly. Let's do that. Just trumpets and trombones. Everybody else, continue to look along in your part and make sure you realize what's going on at this section. A big thing about this section of this piece is you have to be really confident in your individual counting. So let's make sure we're following along while I work with the trumpets and trombones. All right, trumpets and trombones, measure 169. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That was partially my fault. I'm sorry. I lost the beat there. Trombones, good job coming in the first time in measure 170. Horn, sorry for bringing that.